speak in English. So today, on this 100-year occasion of Chiwang Monastery, and who have come here, Nepal Vice President Mr. Ram Saha Yadav, and also Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche, Sangza Rinpoche, and Dilgo Rinpoche. Also, all the delegations of local and from the center, and dear Dharma disciples of Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche, predecessor, and then also dear friends of the Chiwang Monastery from Western countries, and venerable senior monks, tulkus, lamas, nuns, and devotees, and ladies and gentlemen. So I put my body, speech, mind, respect and supplications ahead to the Buddha and to Mahadev, and wish you all greetings. So basically, Khyentse Rinpoche is a dear friend of mine, connected to past life, Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche, and this life also, continuously. Shenpe has mentioned a lot about Chiwang Monastery, and I did watch one, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, forgive me if I had mistaken, I believe it was made by Mr. Christoph, I believe. There was this documentary, Lord of the Dance or something, a very old documentary, and in that there is a lot footages of Chiwang, Manirim Dol and pujas and so forth, performed by Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche and the monks from Tudishuli and also Sangza Rinpoche. So even though I have not been here, it is my first time, Shenpe mentioned for me to come this time. Very happy to be here. It is a great honor and privilege. I always like to say that Nepal country has been very kind to all Himalayan people, Tibetans and so forth. We Himalayan people, either Tibetan, Sherpa, Mukum, Nubri, or Dolpo, or Mongols, all of us, we share one thing in common. We share our tradition, deep tradition, decades and decades, passed down to generation, and then we also share one of the most precious things in our hands. As we say in Tibetan, very proudly, in our hands we have a precious jewel. Do not need to look around to find something else. That precious jewel is the Buddha Dharma. As I believe in the Sanskrit they say Dharma Shiksha. Yeah. So that is something that we have had in our hands. We share that in common. And I think it's very important. I always like to say, I think many of my fellow Sherpas already irritated with me, because I've been blasting their ears all the time, saying that you people are, not practicing the Dharma individually. You see, if I may take a few minutes, I know that Ankajila had told a few minutes, so I will try to finish before he again shouts, So, as he loves to shout, so yeah. So yes, going back to the point. Personally, I have not been so connected to Sherpa people or Himalayan people. As you all know, predecessor Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche did spend time in Nepal, but mostly with the Tibetan community, Lama communities, Rinpoches and so forth, and also mostly in Bhutan with the royal family. So we have not much connection. But in my case, I was very fortunate because my late grandfather, Oje Rinpoche, my late father, Tsegachona Rinpoche, and my uncle Chui Nyama Rinpoche and my brother Pancho Rinpoche have always been very associated with the people of Nepal, and from long before, through Dharma and spirituality, and also through personal helping. So through that, I had a connection with the Nepalese people. But my first connection began with Sherpas through extremely kindness of Trishi Rinpoche. Rinpoche had mentioned to Sindatuku to invite me and to introduce me to the Sherpa people as much as possible through Dharma teachings, pujas, blessings, and empowerments. So through that, my connection kind of grew with Sherpas. Whereas before, I used to always think Sherpa people were, same as Tibetans, but I did not know much knowledge. I just had a funny thought. I thought Sherpa people were people who ate potato whole day long. But later on, I realized that is not actually true. So I made a mistake. Sorry. So it is a great joy because I see that Sherpa people, you have still sustained and kept the unbroken tradition. Our tradition is very special because it has been depth, it has been almost dipped in Buddhism. There is no difference between our tradition and Buddhism. So that is why you have kept that. I am very grateful. Please keep in mind, great masters like Trishi Rinpoche and of course Khazar Rinpoche, Dilgo Rinpoche are all doing so much, to teach around in the Khumbu Valley, around this area. And we have so many monasteries around, and Shembela also doing here, and also my connection with Yangila through my family also, and my predecessor. I want to urge you, please, it is not a joke, you must keep Dharma practice. Very important, very important. It is dying almost, Sometimes I joke with some of the Hindu Pandits in Nepal, and even in India. I say, we go to the Dharma temples and we offer money, and you Panditjis come down very happily when you see 1,000 notes. They say, what do you want right now? I'll give you. And when I give you 20 notes, you look away. That is not possible, I said, you Pandit Pujari, Dharma Pujari, whoever you are, your responsibility is to help people who put trust in you. Your responsibility, you represent the Dharma. Either it is Hindu Dharma or Buddhism. In that perspective, is a huge responsibility to help others when they come in great trust and faith and in need of help. So I want to request you all, it is very important that you're doing all this puja and this, rituals. But sometimes puja ritual without individual practice, individual dedication in Dharma itself, it is no meaning. It's like playing a tape recorder on and on and on and on without any value, without any heavy weight inside. So please, you must keep in mind, there is a big generation gap in our Himalayan community. The elder generation were very lucky. They met great masters and teachers. They had the opportunity to receive directly. That old generation is dying away, getting very old, dying away. Now this generation, the parent generation, your excuse is, I don't have time. Time China. Kam ganu parsa, Okay. Time China, kam ganu parsa. If that is so important, then please remove all your shrine. Remove the Buddha statue. Don't wear a mala in your hands. Because when you devalue Buddha Dharma, you're devaluing your own self. You're devaluing what your grandparents and their grandparents have kept for long, long, long decades. So please, do not forget who you are, you know. All the great masters from India, from Tibet, all of them said one thing: never forget where we come from. Never forget what we have in our hands. You know, this is very important. Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche, my predecessor, said one time, money, power, and fame is temporary. It pollutes the human mind. It makes a good person terrible person. Dharma makes a person at its best version. So, you know, it is sometimes very embarrassing. I don't mean to be biased, but you see, sometimes nowadays we have a situation where Western people practice whole life. They have children to look after, they have jobs to, not just one job, 3, 4, 5, multiple jobs to take care. But they still make time to meditation, to retreats. Extremely wonderful, extremely wonderful. But when I look at my people, Tibetan people, Himalayan people, Sherpa people, I feel very disappointed. Everybody excuse. And sometimes